evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Tuesday, December 5, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Guyana wants peaceful resolution but prepared in case of invasion. President Ali tells CBS on border controversy with Venezuela. Colombian investor to import 1,000 heads of cattle to boost beef production in Guyana. Modern case management system launched for magistrates' courts in Guyana. Georgetown M&CC arrested over 200 persons this year for littering, and Guyana's economy tripled since 2019, alongside record-breaking GDP growth, says IMF. Now for the news in detail. The United States of America has reaffirmed its support for Guyana following the referendum held by Venezuela aimed at annexing the Essequibo region. At a press briefing on Monday, spokesperson for the U.S. Department of State, Matthew Miller, reiterated his country's support for a peaceful resolution of the border controversy between Guyana and Venezuela. Here's what he had to say.
We support a peaceful resolution of the border dispute between Venezuela and Guyana. The 1899 award determined the land boundary between Venezuela and Guyana should be respected unless or until the parties come to a new agreement or a competent legal body decides otherwise. So we would urge Venezuela and Guyana to continue to seek a peaceful resolution of their dispute. This is not something that will be settled by a referendum.
While Guyana remains hopeful of a peaceful resolution to the border controversy with Venezuela, President Dr. Irfaan Ali has reassured that the country is also prepared in case of an invasion by Venezuela. Here is Gerald Bryan with the details.
President Dr. Irfaan Ali on Tuesday had an interview with United States media CBS News where he highlighted Guyana's border controversy with Venezuela. According to President Ali, Guyana is doing everything possible to ensure that the zone remains one of peace. He pointed out that diplomacy has been and will continue to be Guyana's first line of defense. At the same time, he made it clear that Guyana is preparing itself in case Venezuela does invade. This includes through collaboration with its allies, such as the United States and Southcom.
It means doing the work in educating the world. It means informing all the relevant authorities and agencies of what is happening. It means constant monitoring and observation of what Venezuela is doing. It means ensuring that our diplomatic work is at its highest level because we want this to be resolved in a peaceful manner. It means encouraging the Venezuelans and the Venezuelan people, the leadership of Venezuela, to do what is right for the region, to accept a rule-based system, to work with the ICJ, to respect the outcome of the ICJ. And it also means to prepare ourselves, prepare our military asset in case of an invasion from Venezuela. We don't believe that Venezuela would act in this reckless way, but if they do act in this reckless way, we are already cooperating with friends within the region. We have defense cooperation with the United States.
Mention was also made of all the international support Guyana has received, in contrast to Venezuela, which only received the public support of one country, Nicaragua.
We have had the OAS in full support of us, the Commonwealth group of countries in full support of us. We have had CARICOM leaders issuing strong statements, and we have had various leaders across the globe. I've been reaching out because our first line of defense is diplomacy, and we have been reaching out to leaders. The U.S. is strong support of Guyana, and also countries, India, we have raised this with India. We have even raised this with Cuba, countries that have a very close relationship with Venezuela, so that they can encourage Venezuela to do what is right.
On Sunday, the Nicolas Maduro government in Venezuela held its controversial referendum seeking approval from its citizens to annex Guyana's Essequibo territory. But despite decades of indoctrination and weeks of rhetoric from the Maduro regime, the actual vote saw a sparse turnout of voters. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Anil Nandlal has characterized the Venezuelan referendum to forcibly annex the Essequibo as a gimmick that has ultimately backfired. Here are the details from Rupasine Ryan.
Venezuelan authorities have claimed that 10.5 million votes were counted, but have shied away from giving the number of voters. However, a major figure of the Venezuelan opposition had put the actual voter turnout at 2.1 million. Expressing grave concerns over the legitimacy of the reported 10.5 million votes, Attorney General Anil Nandlal raised questions about the credibility of the entire process as he addressed the Guyana Bar Association's symposium on Venezuela's referendum on Monday.
I read one analysis that says that if those votes are correct, it is more votes than the very popular Hugo Chavez got at his last election. That's the analysis of 10.5 million votes. Go on the internet and you will see yesterday there are pictures right across Venezuela of the polling stations, and they were empty. So where did the 10.5 million votes come from? In any event, it's 10.5 out a voting population of about 20 million, so it's only 50% if you go by those figures. The point I am making is that this gimmick of a referendum backfired.
Nandlal has stood resolute that there is no evidence that can impugn the unassailable legal foundation of the 1899 Arbitral Award, which set the boundary between Venezuela, and affirmed that Essequibo belongs to Guyana. However, Venezuela's recent actions have raised eyebrows, as it could set a precedent for challenging previously resolved disputes.
Absolutely not a scintilla of evidence that can stand up in a court of municipal law, more so international law, has been produced to impugn, to invalidate, or to even shake the legal foundation of the arbitral award. None at all. If Venezuela is to get away with this gimmick, it will bring into question, or it will allow for dozens of international disputes similarly resolved, involving borders, involving many other international questions that have been resolved by arbitration and by conciliation, by mediation, and other peaceful method of resolving disputes. Countries can now reopen them on some flimsy allegation.
It was reaffirmed that the Guyana Defense Force is prepared and ready to move, and Guyana has secured support from allies across the hemisphere. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Guyana's judicial system today launched its advanced electronic case management systems for magistrates' courts across the country. Luana McAllister joins us now to report that the launching ceremony occurred at the Diamond Grove Court on the east bank of Demerara.
Speaking during the launching of the case management system, Chief Justice Roxanne George said the Supreme Court of the Judicial of Guyana is on a transformational trajectory in terms of the utilization of technology to advance the efficiency of the administration of justice in the courts. She said this launch represents tangible evidence of their commitment in this regard.
Our system, as designed by the Business Committee, is an end-to-end integrated system, starting with the filing of cases by the police to the receipt of orders of court by the prison service.
Justice George shared that the Diamond Grove Magistrates Court will house the hub for the technological framework for this case management system. Earlier this year, a feasible study was done by a consultant from the United States which facilitated this project. The court case management system will utilize a shared open source and a cost-effective technology to increase the effectiveness and efficiency of judges and court staff by automating document production, improving processes, and facilitating data sharing. Meanwhile, Attorney General Anil Nandlal, present at the event, stated that the government of Guyana is working to replace manual transactions with digital processes across the administrative infrastructure of the central government. This, he said, will be done with a single window initiative.
The single window initiative collapses that 20 agency process into one. You submit your building applications and all the other applications that are required for the particular permissions that you need at one office, that single window unit. And a time will be ascribed for you to return to that unit for your approval.
The launch ceremony concluded with a live demonstration of the case management system, highlighting its capabilities. The implementation is expected to usher in a new era of efficiency and accountability, promising a more robust and transparent
abattoir at Onverwacht on the west coast of Berbice in Region 5. Andrew Carmichael reports that the abattoir is nearing completion.
The Onverwacht Abattoir, which is a $600 million International Development Bank IDB-funded project, is expected to be completed within the next 2 months. This is according to Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, who toured the site on Saturday. The facility, when completed, is slated to be the main slaughtering area for cattle in the country.
I think that this is situated in an ideal place where people from Region 6, Region 5, Region 4 and other regions can use it. And I think that this is poised for major development in the cattle industry. This here will complement what we are doing to improve the meat production, in terms of what we have been expending over the years. For example, we are now improving our breed of animals. We are giving it better breed. And we have some major investors, especially one from Colombia, who want to start investment in 1,000 cattle for beef production.
Investors from Colombia have made a proposal to the government, and according to the Agriculture Minister, the government is currently looking at land where the project can be executed. The Agriculture Ministry is currently working with the Guyana Lands and Survey Commission on that aspect of the project, along with the Mahaica-Myconia Bari MMA Agriculture Development Authority.
MMA has some land, they call it, they are looking to see if they can develop those lands, and if you could, they ask for 1,000 acres. So if you can get it through lands and survey, then they will have the investment. But it's a very, very good investment proposal where they will be putting down processing plant to process dairy product right in the area that they will be rearing these cows, animals. So I'm looking forward for that investment, and very shortly we will be signing an MOU with them to start investment in there.
Meanwhile, the minister pointed out that the facility speaks well for the future of the production of meat in the country.
So you could see that it's an interlinked process that we are doing meat, slaughtering of animal here, but at the same time we're using the byproduct to increase production in the agriculture sector.
He referred to the abattoir as being a major project in his ministry and noted that he is satisfied with the current pace of work at the facility. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Coming up, President Ali intervenes to address drainage road issues in Eccles, and Guyana's economy tripled since 2019 alongside record-breaking GDP growth, says IMF. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe. Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand, the Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Giving you the best Christmas with Digital.
Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Hold on to your Santa hats because there's up to $50 million in cash to be won. Activate any data plan and you can be one of 14 winners to join Digicel's Spin to Win game show where you can win millions in cash. Activate a data plan today on the best network and make this Christmas the best one yet.
Digital.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. President Dr. Irfan Ali on Monday descended on Eccles, East Bank, Demerara to investigate complaints of improper drainage and irrigation as well as the poor state of roads. His intervention was to have the authorities look into these complaints and take corrective action. Find out more in this Gerald Bryan report.
During his visit to Eccles, East Bank, Demerara on Monday, President Dr. Irfan Ali was accompanied by a large contingent of state officials. The president met with residents who raised several concerns, ranging from poor drainage and irrigation to deplorable roads. One observation made by the president was that with the number of high-ranking officials living in Eccles, more should have been done over the years.
First of all, this is an area with a lot of national leaders, and I think that they ought to pay more attention. So, and I know they're responsible leaders. I expect more from them. Right? When I expect more from you, I'll tell you I expect more from you because I know the level of competence that exists. So I'm concerned especially the whole Eccles. The drainage situation I think is ridiculous to say the least. We have to deal with it. I'm trying to deal with the entire drainage situation here. The roads, the roads is a consequence of the drains too because of the flooding and so on. So the drains, the roads, that seems to be the priority in the area. Same with the in the new Eccles, a lot of work has been done in cleaning the drains, but there's still construction is still ongoing.
It was noted by some of the residents that particular persons have been blocking drains and damaging roads, and that complaints to the local authorities have gone unaddressed for years. As such, the president directed head of the Drainage and Irrigation Authority, NDIA, Lionel Wordsworth, as well as other officials, to look into these complaints. Residents were meanwhile not spared from criticism, with the president noting that the residents themselves have a duty to be responsible.
You have a lot of responsibility from residents themselves. This, development, everybody has to be involved. Everybody has to take responsibilities. You can't be dumping old cars in the drain. You can't be filling up reserves. You can't be destroying reserves. You can't be building huge concrete bridges across the drain, filling in the drain. We'll all suffer. Everybody will suffer at the end of the day. Exactly. So everybody has to take responsibility in this process. And I believe, we're getting there. We see communities that are improving. But on Friday, we start to work with the community to deal with the challenges that we have.
Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Over 200 persons were taken to court this year for callous disposal of waste. Director of Solid Waste Management at the Mayor and City Council, Walter Narine, says the arrests were made after the individuals were identified by Council's litter patrol team. Judicial Sobers has the details.
The litter patrol team was established earlier this year to address the problem of littering in the capital city of Georgetown. This is in keeping with the vision of the Mayor and City Council to transform the municipal district into a scenic tourism destination. Director of Solid Waste Management at the Georgetown Mayor City Council, Walter Narine, says of the estimated 200 persons arrested, 70% have already been charged by the Georgetown Magistrates Court, while 30% are awaiting hearings. Narine explains that Council is hoping this strategy strikes a culture change in the way garbage is disposed.
The fines are harsh. It's $25,000 for forbearance. You can get $50,000. Sometimes you can get up to $500,000 depending on some businesses. Right now, you will see on Princess Street here, we are doing some cleanup. And between Mandela and Vicinton Road on Princess Street, we have 25 garbage heaps. And that's only one section of Georgetown.
Narine adds that the Solid Waste Management Department is working with the Guyana Police Force to clamp down on persons caught littering, given that the number of litter bugs arrested this year increased as the months went by. Additionally, Council is hoping to increase its human resource for the patrol team in 2024 in an effort to expand the service to several communities around the city. This would include East and West Rhineveld, as well as Cummins Lodge, which is known for having bulky garbage.
We need to beef up the current team. We need at least about 12, 15 persons to do it. Right? We are looking at it right now to see if we can have our staff in the solid waste department to help the city council staff, because they're the ones who are doing the littering patrol for us.
The campaign is a continuous exercise that Mayor and City Council wants civil society to be a part of, including community leaders within the 15 constituencies. Narine explains that this will play a pivotal role in ensuring the garbage within communities are disposed of properly and citizens take responsibility for the appearance of their surroundings. Judicial Sobers, Evening News.
A new group of young medical professionals is now ready for the working world, having graduated on Monday from the Texila American University. Judicial Sobers joins us again with the details.
The day was celebrated with immense joy and pride as the graduates on Monday took to the stage at the Marriott Hotel, where they were provided with their degrees, which were administered by the university's Dean of the College of Medicine, Dr. Daraj Bansal. During brief remarks, Public Works Minister Juan Agil encouraged the graduating class to continue striving for excellence in all their future endeavor, noting that the transformation of the nation is in their hands. According to Minister Agil, the graduates will play an integral role in improving Guyana's healthcare sector, which is being modernized to deliver world-class care.
We have to improve diagnosis and treatment, and that is why we have invested in some of the most sophisticated technology, in buying some of the equipment. My understanding is that the Georgetown Hospital provides the opportunity for the Texila University students to do their clinical studies, so you're fully aware of some of the investments that have been made and some of the technology that exists at the Georgetown Hospital at this time.
Meanwhile, the university's Dean of College of Medicine, Dr. Daraj Bansal, notes that the program's goal is to produce competent physicians, compassionate and responsible community members. In this regard, he urged the graduating class to go forth and put their skills to use in a way that will change lives and enhance the medical field.
This ceremony is not only a celebration of your achievements, but also a symbol of hard work, dedication, and perseverance that you all have shown during the last nearly 5.5 years. I am hoping that this journey through the MD program has not only provided you with the required clinical skills and medical knowledge, but it has also prepared you to be respectful and to be sensitive towards the needs of your patients, their family members, your peers, and other healthcare providers.
The medical students, now doctors, would have completed 5 years of intense studies and satisfied the required qualifications needed to graduate. this year. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Guyana's rapid economic growth since the startup of oil production in 2019 has been highlighted by the International Monetary Fund, with the fund revealing in its 2023 Article 4 consultation staff report that Guyana's economy has tripled in that time. According to the IMF, much of Guyana's rapid economic growth is owed to oil production, which started with the Liza Destiny floating production, storage, and offloading vessel in the Stabroek Block. According to the IMF, Guyana has per capita the largest oil reserves in the world and the higher real gross domestic product growth than any other country. Further, it noted that since the start of oil extraction in 2019, the Guyanese economy has tripled in size from one of the lowest GDP per capita in Latin America and the Caribbean in the early 90s. Oil production is being ramped up rapidly, supporting the highest real GDP growth in the world in 2022. Going forward, it said oil production would continue to expand rapidly as 4 new fields will come on stream by end 2028. The IMF further related that the government's fundamentals have been strong and there has been no sign of inflationary pressures or overheating associated with the government pumping a great deal of oil money into the economy. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic on Wednesday, December 6, 2023 at 23 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbris River Bridge is expected to be closed at 11 hours 55 on Wednesday, December 6, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
ExxonMobil on board with KFC Goodwill Tournament and Sinclair Joseph help Windies A out South Africa on day 1. Details of these stories in the Sportcast are sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December and win 4 Honda Navi motorcycles. Beat the traffic with this sporty, hip and fun bike to ride. Fully automatic with no gears. Just twist the throttle and go. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend on men's and women's clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage and now our home goods department. So visit us on Waterloo Street for a chance to win 4 Honda Navi motorcycles. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Superbet, your best bet. Did you know that you have a chance to win up to 15 million with sport betting? Simply place your bets at www.superbet.gy for your chance to be the next lucky millionaire. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Giving you the best Christmas. This Christmas, it's all about the best. Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Get half off and a whopping 50 gigs of data when you purchase the Samsung A04 for just $14,000, the Samsung A14 for just $29,000, or the Samsung A24 for just $35,000. That's right, half off and 50 gigs of data. It doesn't get any better than this. So why wait? This Christmas, buy nothing but the best. Offer good while stocks last. Digicel.